I asked him. He looked at me blankly. Probably couldn't understand why I was asking that. Hello and welcome to another episode of me painting again. Oh yes, we're painting again. Just getting my brush a little bit more flexible. Not used it in a few days. It's gone. It's lost its flex. It's gone a bit funny. So I've got a few colours ready, raring to go. Got some cerulean blue, some ultramarine blue, which I'm going to use for my sky actually, and some titanium white. Lovely jubbly. Bit of blue. Bit of the blues. I use the cerulean blue when I want to warm the sky up. I found out years ago if I put cerulean blue and ultramarine blue together in a little bit of titanium white, you can make perfect looking skies. They look almost photographic, the colour. You should try it, have a go. So the other colours I've got is burnt umber, alizarin crimson, sap green and yellow ochre. So I'm going to start down here. Where else? There. About there. That's where our sky can be. Starting. And then when you're putting your paint down, you can always look at it, check it. Is this how you want it to be? Is this the right colours? And you can change it, especially with acrylics. I mean, I did it, don't do it with oils as well, where if I don't like the colour, I'll just mix the colour on canvas. I'm enjoying doing this method at the moment because I don't have as much room. And I've been having problems with the amount of artwork that I've been storing, because I tend to paint for enjoyment myself. I have done a few that I've sold, but a lot of the times I get this idea of doing this painting and I think, oh, that'll be brilliant, I'll copy a Turner and do a huge one, and then I'm like, have it on a wall, bearing in mind the painting is like 5 foot. You can't do too many of them, can you? So anyway, I won't worry about that anymore. Every now and then you just have to do something. I have to every now and then do something a bit harder, a bit challenging, and then it becomes a bit of a project. A good old project. Right, so I've got a bit of a sky in there. I'm going to put some clouds in as well. Now, I do have a photo reference that I'm using, but to be honest, I'm not really using it. I've got the idea. I'm using the idea. So I'm going to get some white, titanium white. Do some clouds. Don't want to be too overbearing clouds in this one. And I've done it while the paint's still wet as well, so it kind of blends away a little bit. It gives you that almost oil painting feel, I find, if you're painting wet in wet like this. Even with acrylics you can get it looking a bit more oil-like. Just adding a bit more paint just to brighten up some areas. Keep it quite loose. That's what I want to do. Keep it quite loose. Loosey-goosey. And then I'll put a few really small ones in the horizon there. You do see it like that at times, don't you? Use your finger to blend if you want. Okay, I'll let that bit dry. While that's drying, I can start working on the water. I've got to decide how dark I want this water. I want it to have a bit of fine crimson and blue. You can make a really deep water. So as ultramarine blue and alizarin crimson, you can really deepen that water to get it started. And that's what I'm going to do. Have a nice deepish water here. Now what I'm going to do is get a bit of sky colour on my finger and just run it along here. Just softens it a little bit. Oops. Use a bit of white and blue. See, I'm going to create the illusion of the sea and the horizon sort of blending in together almost. That's what I want to do. Kind of just a bit of an illusion, really. That's what painting is, isn't it? It's all about an illusion. And I'm going to have some headlands as well, so I don't need to worry too much about that area. Okay, I think I'll leave it like that for now. I'm going to throw in a bit of yellow ochre into my colour, into my bluey colour. And then I can start putting the indication of a few waves back here using that. Okay, it's looking better. Start building this up a bit, and the water flowing inwards. So I'm going to get myself some blue, ultramarine blue and crimson, and not crimson, ultramarine blue and cerulean blue, and a little bit of white, and we'll change the colour a little bit of the water, bit of yellow ochre in it as well actually. Change the colour of the water as it's come down this area, gets a little bit lighter. As you can see, I always use my finger to blend stuff. It's a funny thing, is the old finger brush. They work really well. They really do. For a long time I didn't use my finger to blend. And then I was studying Turner. I mean, I mentioned him quite a lot because I I really studied Turner for a while because I wanted to be able to paint a bit better. As we do. We always want to paint a bit better, don't we? And his skill level just amazed me, and so I started learning more of the older ways of painting, and that's what totally changed me really when I started doing that. I mean, he was a unbelievable painter, and people like me, we can try. We keep trying. We keep practicing, so we get better. We slowly get better. I mean, I'm looking at some of my old paintings as I've been clearing stuff out, and just putting a little bit of light on some of these waves. It's an indication anyway. Yeah, and I was looking at some of my older paintings that I was doing, and I thought, oh, I have got a lot better. I'm a lot better painter. Because you do think sometimes that you're the same, don't you? You don't think you're improving. You look at your old work and you think you probably, well, you ignore your old work, I should say. That's what I've done anyway. Ignored my old work and just carried on, and well, yeah, you can see a lot of development, which is very slow development, but it's there. You look really hard. I'm just adding a little bit more movement in this bit of water. I'm going to have a wave coming along here. So what I need to create this wave, a bit of yellow in this light colour. There's light blue and a bit of yellow ochre, and what I'm doing is creating that transparent part of the wave on the top. It's on the top where it goes. That's where I'm putting this colour. I'll have it going off like that. And I'm going to leave that to dry a bit now. And while that's drying, I can start looking at making my land. Because I've got a big land mass that I want to put in. It's going to be good. I'm going to enjoy putting this in actually. A bit brown, a bit of yellow. A little bit of crimson, something like that. Maybe we'll do the light first and the dark second. So we'll have the sun hitting this mass of land. Of course, we need to bring it out like that. There. And then there. Just went into a little bit of crimson then, just to change things a bit. Go into a little bit of blue and brown. Change things again, you say. Darken areas. I was asked once about light and dark, which is the best to do first? And I would say both is good. I think when you're first learning, first painting, especially if you're using an acrylic, it's probably easier to do to a dark, like I would probably say do a dark mass of colour and with acrylics, and then as it dries you can then add highlights on the top, and that can work really well. Because then you can see it. It's all about what you can see, isn't it? So yeah, I've gone kind of mid-tone like, and then I've gone dark on top of that, and that works as well. But there is no exact formula of what to do, but there is ways that you could try. You just try it. Try it out. If you like it, then that's the way you like doing it, then happy days. Just gonna get myself a beach colour. Gonna get myself some brown and yellow, bit of red in there. Nice little bit beach colour. Might be a bit light, but we'll have a look. That's not bad actually. Send that beach up to there. I do like to be beside the seaside. Better not sing too much. Don't want to lose my subs. It's hard to get one subscriber extra, so I don't want to lose it, so I apologise about that. But I do like to go to the sea. Here we go. Got a little bit more this colour, yellow ochre in amongst it. That's looking quite nice. So I want to get some more light on this area, so I'm going to throw some light in this yellowy mix that I was messing around with. Yellow ochre, and there's a bit of red in it, a bit of crimson in it, bit of umber, something like that. I can use that. There's a bit of white in there as well. So I'll have my light. It's sort of going to cast it this way. So like this area can be dark, and then maybe there's some light hitting some of this here. Maybe that's a little bit cast there, and then it hits there. And then this area here, just lightly putting the colour on. Just so it doesn't look too bitty, which it does look a bit bitty at the moment. I might bring that bit together there so that all flows a little bit better. Quite like that. Just going to grab a touch of green, a bit of sap green on the brush, only a little bit. I'm going to add a little bit of that in this area here. Quite like that. But now I'm looking again and I'm thinking, is it a good look? Starting to think it wasn't, so I'm going to put it back in. Luckily though, you can do that. Luckily I can come back and I can start putting dark back in where I want it. You can either wait for it to dry or you can dive in like I just did. Just sprayed my brush, my paints just so they don't get too dry, and then I might use a little bit of this bluey colour just to put in something on this. Maybe a bit of light there. Okay. So I might use this brush now. This is a Cotman watercolour brush, 668 if you're wondering. If you're wondering what the other brush I was using was, or is, it is a Da Vinci number 20. I've done a video on this brush, just to tell you what it is. So I'm going to get some white on this brush. There's a little bit of yellow ochre in it, just a touch. And I'm going to start having a bit of a splash going. I'm going to pull this over first. And then I'm gonna splash. As it hits. And gets smaller as it goes up there. And I could even splash that bit a bit more there. Maybe there's a bit more of a splash there. And I can grab some really light colour and hit that with some light on that one side, just to add a bit more to it. You can use your finger to pull it, move it. Bit more along here. And then we can have a splashes coming here. Well, that was a bit of a big splash. Just use my finger to get rid of that a little bit. There we go, that worked out quite nice. Not quite as dynamic as the other one. We could have this one already turned over. And then we can send it along here as well. Get a tiny bit of blue in the colour, and I can sort of stretch this out a bit, all the way out there. And I can use strokes that go along the page, horizontal strokes basically, going along. A bit of blue here and there. Just to sort of bring this together, because it's kind of split a little bit, isn't it? Bring it together a bit. Bit of a lighter blue. I'm having fun here. I'm having fun. It is looking a little bit. Let me see. There's a little bit more. I need a bit more dark. I think I've lost too much dark. I think that's the problem. So what I'm going to do, use a liner. And I'm going to get a bit more of my dark back in. I'm going to put some dark under here as well. Get a bit more dark behind this splash, just to send it out a little bit really. Get a little bit of light. Just did a bit too much there, so I'm gonna go back to that one in a minute. A little bit lighter. And that's looking a lot better actually. Just gonna more light on this bit here. I might do another splash there. I've got a lot of splashes along here as well. We need to. Maybe there's one that goes there. Just use my finger there just to. Maybe there's a bit there as well. Quite like that. A little bit more light on this bit here. might bring this out here. I sort of just did this. I just went. Just imagine where the horizon line is. So there. Just you can kind of fake it a little bit. Gonna get a bit more of a light flicking here and there. Maybe there's a bit of a bit there and there. I've seen it like that actually, where you get like multiple ones like that. So multiple light bits. There's the light coming out there. Sparkles of light here and there. So I admit I'm just having fun with this. I'm trying to get that movement going. I might even I always think there should be a background boat or something. I do. Maybe there is. Maybe there's one there. Like that. The sails are I don't want it to be too light, but I might give it a little bit of a highlight on the back of it, so the light's sort of coming round. Something like that. And you can do whatever you like. I've got to think about the cast of shadow that probably goes here. Get some ultramarine blue on the finger, and I can cast a bit of dark there. Bit of alizarin crimson as well. It's not quite casting it like I wanted. There we go. And just to make sure that's obvious that goes like that. Of course, you have to imagine that this rock comes around, so maybe it not only is casting there, it's probably here as well. And then probably here as well as it goes round. It's probably quite dark there. And it's probably quite light here, so we can make it a bit more obvious by light and dark. Maybe I'll make it a bit more obvious that this is the light area. Why not? Add a bit of colour. I remember I was in a gallery. I think I've told this before, this story, and I saw this bloke's paintings, and I thought to myself, how is he getting so many colours in the water? I don't understand how he's managed to do that. So I asked him. He looked at me blankly. Probably couldn't understand why I was asking that, and he said he doesn't teach. Which was quite funny, really. But he did tell me about a bloke that did teach, but he didn't teach oils, he taught pastels. Did some amazing portraits, actually. He did. I can't remember his name, to be honest, but it was I just find it funny how I just didn't know that, because we've got to learn somewhere, haven't we? But anyway, we've got quite a lot of movement going on here in this scene. Got a nice little boat. Might have a couple of birds in the sky. I like the wave crashing there. That works really nice. I could get some proper pure white and build up some of these areas to give them a bit more separation, actually. Same with some of this. Just builds it up a little bit, doesn't it? Lost some of that light there, so I'll put that back in. And that shape there. And that there. And then if you want to be clever, you can use a blue to do the bits in here. Okay, I think I'll call that one finished. Hope you enjoyed this nice little seascape scene. There's plenty more you could do if you wanted. I'm almost wanting to do this, actually. I'm gonna do it. Bit of white. I prefer that. Well, just like a little bit of colour. So anyway, there we go. There's the finished painting, or is it? It's a classic, isn't it? Am I finished or not? I don't know. I always think I've finished, and then I think there'd probably be birds flying around this. So there we go. Got a few birds flying around it, because there probably would be. So there we go. A nice made up kind of place, really, and I quite like it. It looks like a nice place to visit, doesn't it? So thanks very much for watching this one. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you at another one. Cheers, bye.